So you're thinking about moving to Spring Lake, North Carolina. Well, in this video, we're going to talk to you a little bit about the pros and the cons, the good and the bad of living in Spring Lake, North Carolina. But you want to stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss any of the important information that we want to share with you about this great city of Spring Lake, North Carolina. Now let's jump into this video. Now, if this is your first time to our channel, you want to go ahead and like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to know all about the current market in this great city. My name is Michelle Capers and my husband is Smiley Capers, and we are the owners of Moving Forward Real Estate. And we get calls and emails from people just like you on a daily basis needing assistance in moving to this great city. So whether you want to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and all of our information will be held in the description box below. We want to help you transition and make your smooth move to the great city of Spring Lake, North Carolina. So let's jump into this video. So again, today we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of living in Spring Lake, North Carolina. So we're going to start off with some cons. Now, one of the first cons of living in Spring Lake, North Carolina is there's no public transportation. So if you are even contemplating moving out to Spring Lake, North Carolina, you want to make sure that you have a transportation, a good source of transportation, because you have to do a lot of traveling even within the local area, because things in Spring Lake is so spread apart. Your schools and jobs and restaurants, or shopping, any of those things that you have to do. It's a smaller community. We are a population of a little over 12,000 people, but however, things are spread apart here. So you want to make sure that you have transportation, because you will be stranded if you're trying to get somewhere or you need to get somewhere fast. Please don't rely on public transportation, because it's not here in this area. Number two, there's not a lot of restaurants and shopping here. So if you are a foodie like I am, and you love to get, have a variety of restaurants and different options other than your traditional fast food, restaurants, then you want to think twice about moving out here if you don't mind driving, because Spring Lake, North Carolina does not have a lot of restaurants here. We have some, and we do have one. It's called the Twisted Grape, and it's an American style restaurant, and they actually just started serving breakfast at this restaurant, and it's really good. We went there, my husband and I, a couple of times, and we really enjoy it. But if you want different options, if you want to be able to say, hey, today I feel like seafood, today maybe I feel like a steak or something, you just don't have that option here in the local city. Also, the shopping. If you love to get your style on, and if you like different styles and want to be able to look at, create your own style and brand, and there's not a lot of shopping here as well. So if you are the type of person that you love to shop, if you're a shoe person, a hat person, or if you just like to just stay up with the current, style of what's going on, Spring Lake is not the place, for you to do a lot of shopping, as far as, a lot of, again, variety, a lot of options. We have a couple of shopping places here, but, again, depending on your style, you might not be able to find what you're looking for here in the local area. Now, if you just want to go pick up something really quick, of course, there's, Walmart, or there's Cato's as well. I don't know if you all are familiar with Cato's women, but there's some cute, clothes there as well. But if you want, just a quick little t-shirt or some pants or something, and Walmart is coming up, it has some cute things there. But, as far as the options is concerned, if you're really into stylish wearing and dressing and colors and just different things, your unique brand and styling, there is not Spring Lake. Spring Lake is not that place, to get your shopping on. And another con about living in Spring Lake is the job opportunity is not here. So, depending on what career field you are in, I'm not sure if we have a business or a company here that will support your career. So, depending on whatever you're doing, as far as your career, or even wanting to do, if you have dreams and aspirations of a certain type of job, you might not be able to find it here in the local area. The job market is very low here. However, if you don't mind driving, good job opportunities is no further than maybe 25, 30 minutes to an hour away if you really want to get into a good variety and options as far as your career is concerned. So, you want to think about that before you move out, just in case, you're moving here without a job. A lot of people that lives here is military. So the military post Fort Bragg is about 10 minutes or less away, just depending on what part of Spring Lake you live in. So, that's a ready-made job. You don't have to worry about that. Or if you're here contracting for a season or traveling nurses, stuff like that, then Spring Lake wouldn't be an issue for you because your job is already stabilized. But if you're coming here looking for a job, Spring Lake is still not a bad place to live, but you just have to know you have to have some transportation because you have to know that whatever you do, you might have to do some driving as far as your employment is concerned. So now let's talk about some pros of living in Spring Lake, North Carolina. Now, again, I did mention that there's no public transportation, and we are far, from certain things within 20 to 30 minutes, in the Fayetteville area. So a pro here is that we are centrally located. Yes, we are a little ways out, but however, you can get to wherever you want to get to, restaurants, good shopping within 25 to 30 minutes. So that's not bad, being that we are out here. You don't have to worry about being too far, like we're couple of hours away from, we're not out in the desert eating, Spring Lake is not, that far from being able to just hop in your car and go ahead and go to that restaurant, or, being able to even churches, your healthcare provider for no more than, even with healthcare providers, there is a little city right next to Spring Lake called Cameron. And actually that's where my health care provider is located as well. So that's about 15 minutes. So there is things that you can get to within 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes, and after you move out to this area, it's not as bad as what you may think about it moving, starting off, because we lived in Hope Mills when we first PCS to Fayetteville area. Then we was in Fayetteville, and my husband since retired about 2 years ago. So now we live in Spring Lake, and I wouldn't have never thought I would, because I felt like, maybe you feel it's so far away, and, no, this is not, we do have transportation, but I just don't like to drive. But we have found our forever home here in Spring Lake, and just, whatever we usually do, we just get in the car and do it. We just have to be cognizant of timing and make sure we leave in enough time, but it's no more than about a 5 or 10 minute drive more than what we were when we was in Fayetteville. So just keep that in mind. So another good thing and a pro of living in Spring Lake, North Carolina is the schools. If you have kiddos and you're moving here, you don't have to worry about the school. We are above average here in this area, according to niche.com. And that's a good source that you can go to and look at the stats and, where we rank even nationwide. So the schools here are very good. You will be very pleased, with the curriculum and the teacher to student ratio as well. So very good schools in Spring Lake. You don't want to ever or need to ever have to worry about your children and the education for them in Spring Lake, North Carolina. So we have some great schools out here. So, and another good thing about living in Spring Lake, North Carolina is that we're not so congested. So there's not, the hustle and the bustle of the traveling and bumper to bumper. Now we are growing, and I will say within the next 2 to 5 years, we will, they might be a little bit of that bumper to bumper traffic. But however, being that we're out and we're a suburb of Fayetteville, North Carolina, you don't have to worry about that as much as it is being in the actual city of Fayetteville. So we are not congested. You're not, on top of one another. Even the houses, you get a little bit more land, not like, some areas, not acres and acres, but we're not right on top of each other as far as some of the subdivisions. And depending on what subdivision that you live in, the houses are even more spread apart. So it's just a nice commute when you're, leaving Spring Lake, going to wherever you're wanting to travel to, all these surrounding cities that's around Spring Lake. You can always come home, be at peace in this low profile, what I call it, Spring Lake, not so busy. So that is a good thing. We are not as congested as some of the other cities here in the Cumberland County, Harnett County area. Now we're about to wrap this video up, but one thing about Spring Lake that I love the beach and love the big city life. Now for me, I like to live, where it's not that congested, where, you don't have, the honking of the horns that you can just hear it out your window, and you get, in your car and it takes you 15 minutes just to get out of your neighborhood because it's so busy. However, every now and then, you may like to, get out there in that hustle and the lights and the, all of that goes on in the big city. We are nothing but no more than 45 minutes from Raleigh. And that is wonderful. So even with jobs, the job opportunities here is not that great. But however, if you want to get a good job, good paying job, you have so many options in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, and it's just about 45 minutes away, maybe even less, depending on where you're located in Spring Lake. So, you want to, keep Spring Lake, on your top 5 list, because we are Myrtle Beach as well. I love the beach. I love the water. I don't know about you, but again, we're about an hour and a half at the most away from Myrtle Beach. So those weekends, you want to get those kiddos in the car, you and your spouse, your friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever have you, your family, and just, kind of woosah from the week. You're not that far. You can get in there and make it a day trip or even a weekend trip, just depending on, what you got going on for, the day or the week or the weekend. So Spring Lake is a very good hidden jewel, and it's a great place to live. Great, economy. As far as the homes is concerned, you can get more bang for your buck in some of these areas. So I love it. We love it out here. Like I said, we're so convenient and to everything. So you don't want to rule out Spring Lake, North Carolina. So again, hey, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we'll be sure to get you all the information that you need, the important information that you need to make a sound decision on moving to the great city of Spring Lake, North Carolina. And as always, we are moving forward one home at a time. See you in the next video.